Hello YouTube, welcome to my first video where I'll be showing you how to do an oil change on almost any car or truck. Today we have my 1994 Mazda B3000, and the things you would need to do an oil change is oil. It is very important that you know what type of oil and how much it needs. So this truck uses 5W20 high mileage oil. And it is also important to know what type of filter you need. We also have shop towels, we have an oil pan, and we have car ramps. You could also use a jack and jack stand. I also have my breaker bar and my bits. I've already determined that my drain plug is a 16 millimeter. I also have a funnel which helps get the oil into the motor, and my little magnet bolt holder that I'll be using to store the drain plug and anything else we need to take off. Alright, and in the vehicle it is important to put the parking brake on, especially in a neutral vehicle. And now that the parking brake is on, we can turn the vehicle off, and if it's a manual, put it in gear. And now the truck should not be rolling, should not be going anywhere. So now that the truck is safely up on the car ramps, we can now pop the hood, and usually it is under the steering wheel, or it is over here somewhere, or it's down on the floor. Now we can open our hood, and the hood latch for the release should be somewhere in the middle. And now we can grab our bar, or you'd have struts right back there that would hold the hood up on its own. So now we are going to locate our engine oil dipstick, our fill cap, and our oil filter. So our engine oil dipstick is right here. Our oil filter is right down there. And I will show you a view from under the truck as well. And then our oil fill cap is right here. So now I'm going to show you how to check your engine oil dipstick. So we pull it out, and then we wipe it off with a clean shop rag until there is no residue and no oil left on the dipstick. We're going to put it back in and put it all the way down, pull it right back out, and as we can see, the engine oil is a bit dirty, but it is still at the full mark, which is right here at the top of the textured part. So now under the truck, we are going to locate our oil drain plug, which is right here at the bottom of the oil pan on the underside of the main part of the engine. It should be at the lowest point in the oil pan. And then also our oil filter right up here above our starter. So after we have located our drain plug, I can now set my oil pan under here. And at this point, we will also need our tool, our breaker bar, to loosen up the drain plug and to pull it out. All right, so now we need to make sure our tool is in the off position if it has a ratchet. And we're going to put our bit right on the drain plug, and we're just gonna loosen it up just a little bit. And we're going to loosen it up enough just to the point to where oil starts dripping out, and we can undo it with our hands. And make sure we have our oil pan centered under the stream of where the oil is coming down, and we can set our drain plug on our little magnet. And after a couple minutes, the oil should start to slow down in the draining process. We're just gonna wait a couple more minutes for the oil to fully drain, make sure all of it gets to the bottom, and we are going to retighten the drain plug, do the filter. Now that I have wiped off our tool and our drain bolt with the trusty shop rags, and the oil has stopped draining, we can now put the drain plug back on and refill it with oil. And now we have our drain plug mostly on, and we're just going to tighten it down tight enough so where we know it won't fall off, and loose enough to where we know we can get it off next time without cross-threading the threads on the bolt. Now that we are ready to take off the oil filter, I have put the tool on and attached it to my ratcheting bar, and we are ready to unscrew the oil filter. So now that I have gotten the oil filter loose, I'm going to move my drain pan directly under it and unscrew it the rest of the way with my hand. And it should start dripping, and it should leak all the way back out. As we can see, it's dripping a little bit of oil, and I have to figure out how to get it between these wires. Now that I have gotten the oil filter out, that is what it should look like. And our filter will have oil in it that you can dump straight into your drain pan. And now it is ready for the new filter before we begin to fill it up. So we realized we grabbed the wrong filter, so we went back and got a good one, the right one. And I'm just gonna pre-lube up the O-ring on the new filter. And now we can climb under here. And the filter only needs to be hand tight. So you can squeeze it up through here. And on most vehicles, it shouldn't be that hard to get the filter up and on there. It's just on this truck that it's decently hard to get it around the starter and around those wires. So now I'm just going to screw this down and give it a nice tug to make sure it's hand tight and will not fall off. And I did give the filter a few extra tugs just to make sure it is all good and tight on there and it seals well so that no oil will leak out. And now we are ready to begin filling it up. So now we are going to take our oil fill cap off and set it upright right there. And now I'm going to set our funnel right down in here and grab our oil. Make sure we don't pour too fast so our funnel doesn't fill up too high. And I'm going to put roughly 4.5 quarts in here. And right here on the side of our oil jug, we can see how much is left in here, and it is not down to 1/2 quart yet, so we're going to keep filling. So as we can see, it is now at about 1/2 quart. I'm going to wait for the funnel to stop draining. Tap it off a little bit, and I'm going to grab a shop rag just to set it on. Now we can check our dipstick. As we can see, it is at the full mark right here, and we are all set to start the vehicle, let the oil settle in. So now I have put the oil cap back on, the dipstick back down, the oil filter on, and the drain plug is tight. We can come in here and start the vehicle. Just to let the oil settle in. And it's okay if the truck or car takes some oil. That's just it cycling through the system and going through the filter. So we may need to add some later, but as of right now, I'm just gonna let it idle until the oil works its way through. Now that the truck has been idling for a few minutes, I'm going to inspect under here, make sure there is no leaks from the filter or the drain plug. And everything under here looks good. There's nothing dripping onto the ground. Now we should be all set to get the truck off the ramps, and we can return our oil at our nearest auto parts store. Now we should be good to take the truck off the ramps very slowly. Now we pick up our ramps and move them out of the way, and now we are going to dispose of our oil back there. Now that I have taken the truck on a little drive, I'm going to check the engine oil dipstick again, just to see how much we've lost and if I need to add any more. And as we can see, it did eat a little bit of the oil, so I'm just going to fill it up a little bit with a little more oil, and we should be all set.